In the mid-2000s, there were a few names in the entertainment industry that held as much promise as Ashton Kutcher's. However, not much is seen from the That 70s Show actor today. Many people might not realize the reason Ashton has stepped out of the spotlight in recent years is because he's been suffering from a serious autoimmune condition. Join Facts First as we explore how Ashton Kutcher put his career on hold during a health scare. In the summer of 2022, Ashton Kutcher came out publicly with some big news. Not much had been seen from the actor in a while, and fans were growing suspicious. As it turns out, there was a big reason for it. Several years before, he had been diagnosed with an autoimmune condition that left him unable to walk. The condition that plagued him was called vasculitis, and it also left him unable to see and hear. After receiving the diagnosis, Ashton didn't want to make a big deal about it. And by the time he publicly announced he was suffering from vasculitis, he was already well on his way towards recovering from it. His public announcement came via an episode of the TV series Running Wild with Bear Grylls, The Challenge. The show airs on the National Geographic Channel, and it proved the perfect vessel for Ashton to tell his story. At the time he appeared, he'd been suffering from vasculitis for around 2 years. At the height of his suffering, he was essentially paralyzed, but by the time he appeared on the show, he was much closer to being his normal self. He shared with the audience it took him around an entire year to start noticeably recovering. He gave the fight everything he had, and he came out on top. Now, it's slowly but surely looking like the actor is ready to get back out into the spotlight. He's even run a marathon. Losing his faculties made Ashton more appreciative. Ashton says losing the abilities to see, hear, and talk was something that changed his outlook on life a great deal. Prior to the incident, Ashton had taken all of his faculties for granted. Now the actor has a newfound appreciation for the simple things in life, including his basic motor functions. Vasculitis is a condition that's rare but not unheard of. It causes swelling in the blood vessels, and this can lead to serious issues. Vasculitis may have done a pretty good job of knocking Ashton Kutcher down, but it couldn't keep him down for good. Today, it appears he's made essentially a full recovery from this disease. When it comes to how much he's recovered, Ashton is simply asking fans to take his word for it. He recently proved how much progress he's made with a grand gesture. This was running the New York City Marathon. He ran it in November of 2022, a few months after publicly revealing his diagnosis. It seems the actor didn't want his fans to worry about him and wanted to stay out of the public spotlight until he was sure that his vasculitis was a thing of the past. And although it was inspiring for his fans, the actor first and foremost ran the marathon for himself. According to Ashton, running it just 3 years after finding himself unable to walk was all he needed to prove to himself that his vasculitis was over and done with. A month after running it, Ashton made another appearance on The Checkup with Dr. David Agus to discuss further recovery. Ashton has a celebrity doctor on his side. For those who haven't heard of Dr. David Agus, he's a celebrity doctor who specializes in cancer treatment. He premiered his own show on the Paramount Plus streaming network. It's called The Checkup with Dr. David Agus, and Ashton Kutcher appeared in one of the first episodes. Besides Dr. Agus, another person who's helped Ashton a great deal is his wife. Ashton's been married twice over the course of his life. Everyone will likely remember Ashton's first marriage, as it made for excellent tabloid fodder. Around the height of his initial fame, he married Demi Moore. It was a May-December romance, as Demi was a good deal older. However, it still appeared from the outside that the two were madly in love. Despite all that, Ashton and Demi divorced in 2013. He then went on to marry former That 70s Show co-star Mila Kunis in 2015. According to Ashton, he wouldn't have been able to recover from his vasculitis without the ever-enduring love of his wife. Ashton is now 44 years old and Mila Kunis is 39. The two played love interests on That 70s Show, and infamously, Mila Kunis lied to the producers of the series about her age. When she was hired to play Ashton's love interest, she was only 14 years old. The age gap between the two is nothing compared to the age gap between Ashton and his first wife, as Demi Moore is now 60 years old. Ashton's brother suffers from cerebral palsy. When Ashton Kutcher appeared on The Checkup with Dr. David Agus, he wasn't alone. He also used his appearance on the show to introduce the world to his brother. His brother is named Michael. Though they have an incredibly close bond, there have been time periods over the years where they felt as if they'd never speak again. Michael suffers from cerebral palsy, which is something that has caused medical problems for him over the course of his life. Although Ashton and Michael Kutcher have had their problems, they've generally been very close. Via their appearance on the show, the two brothers shared many traumatic memories that had helped them bond over the years. On one instance, Michael nearly passed away after his heart stopped while Ashton was visiting him in the ICU. Ashton was worried his brother was going to die, and he considered committing suicide to ensure his brother had a donor heart. Thankfully, Michael ended up getting a transplant heart without Ashton having to kill himself. Cerebral palsy has been something that has affected Michael his entire life. According to Ashton, he used to feel bad for his brother, but he stopped feeling bad for him at his brother's request. Michael has never wanted Ashton's pity, and he doesn't like attention being called to his disease. For the most part, they've gotten along swimmingly over the course of their lives. But there have been periods when they refused to talk to one another. The first came about as a result of Ashton's That 70s Show fame. When Ashton started becoming a celebrity, his brother got jealous. Things seemed to be going well for the Kutchers. It didn't take long for Michael to get over this jealousy and welcome his brother back into his life, fame and all. However, this wasn't the last of their bad blood. Once Michael was back in Ashton's life, Ashton couldn't contain his excitement. He started talking about their relationship in the media, and this included spilling the beans about Michael's cerebral palsy. Michael had kept it a secret from the greater public and had no intention of having his brother reveal it to the entire world. According to Ashton, he had no idea Michael was trying to keep it under wraps. Ashton apologized to his brother profusely, and it seems the two are on better terms now than ever before. Now that Ashton has overcome a major health scare himself, it seems the actor likely has more empathy for his brother than he ever did. Likewise, Michael has likely realized Ashton has faults of his own and isn't some flawless person he should be jealous of. Vasculitis has killed people in the past, including the late Harold Ramis. The Caddyshack director passed away from the condition at age 69. With his recent running of the New York City Marathon, it appears Ashton won't be following in Harold's footsteps. In addition to being a major health victory for the actor, his running in the marathon also raised around $1 million for his charitable organization. He's the founder of the organization Thorn, which fights against sex trafficking. Ashton Kutcher hadn't been seen much lately due to a serious autoimmune condition, but it appears he's made a full recovery and is ready to come back out into the spotlight. Now it's time to hear from you. Did you know that Ashton was almost paralyzed a few years ago, but now he's back to running marathons? Let us know in the comments section below.